All right, Renee, we're good to go?
Yes, we are.
All right, thank you. All right, we will reconvene the March 15th meeting of the Veterans Affairs Committee. I appreciate everybody's patience while we work through that piece as well, so thank you for that. First, item number 2, remarks by the chairs. Senator Cabrera.
Thank you, Representative Boyd. Thank you all for your patience and indulgence this morning. We're on and we're ready to go, and I'm all set to get going. So thank you all.
All right, thank you, sir. And I'll just say that I appreciate the work of everybody from our support team at LCO and OLR and OFA, as well as the work and the conversations with our ranking members as well. We tried to work through every major decision as a team, so I appreciate them working and coming to the table. So with that, Representative Vail.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I also want to reiterate that sentiment. I want to thank the chairman of this committee for letting us be an equal part of the process. And I just want to say thank you to you both.
Thank you, sir. Senator Ciccarello.
Thank you. Just also want to reiterate, it was great work with everybody. And a special thanks to the staff that helps us get all the documents together and push this along. Look forward to a conclusion of our short session. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Senator. And so moving on to item number 3, which is bills for final action, to try to make this go smoothly, as well as anybody who's following along who's not in this meeting and they're following along at home. We'll try to be as succinct as possible in order to lay out what the action is, the LCO number, and then what the bill does as well. And there was a couple of strategic decisions that we made in the screening process of taking a number of bills that are similar to subject areas such as the DVA or the military department or other things, and kind of combine them into one bill going forward rather than 3. Often we refer to them as aircraft carriers, but these are much smaller. So these are more like tugboats type of thing. So, but it just makes sense in the short session. But it also is multiple sections in one bill, and we'll explain that as we work through it as well. So the first item is House Bill 5367, which is a JFS to the floor. And this is the first of the combined bills that is going to be the Department of Veterans Affairs bill. The LCO number is 3396. And let me just, I guess, first, what is your pleasure with this bill? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Senator Austin. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Vail. For discussion purposes, there's 4 sections to this bill. Section 1 is clarifying language that surrounds the license plates, which is what this bill originally was, to include Iraq and Afghanistan in that. It also, we followed the commissioner's recommendation during the public hearing of which statute should be amended in order to include that. Number 2 is the LCO bill with technical and minor changes. Section 3 puts together a working group, which we had passed a standalone bill last year out of the House to look at the entire issue surrounding property tax exemptions, abatements, and other things with relief for veterans. And Section 4 requires the VA commissioner to submit to this committee by September 1st a recommendation on improving the Municipal Veterans Representative Program. So this bill now has 4 sections, and I'm told by LCO the title will change before the floor to better reflect the contents of the bill. Your pleasure. I believe that this may be able to be offered for consent.
If I could ask one question,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, on the working group, does that have an end date so that we could act on what they find in the next legislative section?
Yes, January 1, 2023.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Other questions or comments? Representative Vail?
I would move that we start a consent calendar and that we move House Bill 5367 to that consent calendar.
So first, is there any objection to starting a consent calendar? Hearing none, we'll start one. And any objection to moving House Bill 5367 to the consent calendar? Hearing none, it's been added. Item number 2 is House Bill 5368, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the governor's guards. This is the second of our compact bill. This is the military department bill. It will be a JFS to the floor with LCO number 3283. And this bill has 4 sections. Section 1 is the removing of antiquated language regarding the governor's guards that the original bill had proposed and we heard. Section 2 changes slightly the order and how the governor can activate the governor's guard for military duty to align with current protocol. 3 deals with the morale, welfare, and recreation account with the expansion to the National Guard, the military department, not just the Army National Guard, per the TAG's recommendation. And 4, it authorizes the military department to issue military funeral honors ribbon. So there's 4 sections to that bill. Is there a motion? Representative Napoli?
Motion to place on consent calendar?
Oh, hold on. We need to first the motion to JFS it to the floor.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Senator Austin. Any comments or questions on this bill? Comments or questions? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing it on the consent calendar? Hearing no objection, we'll place it on consent. Item number 3, House Joint Resolution 92, a resolution recognizing Chief Harold Tanjaquidgeon. It's a JF to the floor. It recognizes the work of an extraordinary Connecticut resident and member of the Mohegan tribe who's a genuine war hero. Is there a motion to JF it to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Napoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Austin. Comments, questions, Senator Austin?
Thank you. Has anybody informed the tribal council and the tribal chairman of this?
Yes, I have spoken with a member of the tribal council who brought it to them.
Not my question. Did we, as a group, send something to the council and to the chairman of the tribe? And I would just ask that we do that formally, send something to the tribal chairman, James Gesner, and the council so that it's not a member of the council, but the council at large that knows about it. Just a suggestion.
The suggestion noted, but I do believe they're aware of it. We will do it formally.
Thank you.
Are there comments or questions? Is there an objection to putting this on consent? Hearing none, we'll place it on the consent calendar. Item number 4, House Bill 5370, an act increasing the compensation for participation in military funeral honors. It simply increases the stipend that is issued per day, keyword per day, from the current $50 to $60. And this is a JF to the Appropriations Committee. So first, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Napoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Austin. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? Okay. Hearing none, is there an objection to placing this on the consent calendar? Hearing none, we'll place it on consent. Item number 5, House Bill 5373, an act establishing concurrent jurisdiction with the United States over offenses committed by minors on federal military installations in the state. This is a JF to the floor. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Napoli. Is there a second? Sorry, I didn't hear. Is there a second? Second for Senator Ciccarella. This was at the request of the Department of Defense. to allow state jurisdiction for military offenses, joint jurisdiction, I should say, on primarily the New London subbase, but other federal installations. This would be followed up by a memorandum of understanding of what the decision tree would be as to who has first crack at jurisdiction with that. So it's a motion, a second. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing this on the consent calendar? Is there an objection? No objection, we'll place it on consent. Item number 6, House Bill 5371, an act establishing a personal income tax deduction for honor guard detail composition. This is a JFS to finance with an LCO 3285. Very simply, this would exempt the stipend that we're looking to increase in another bill from tax purposes. And again, the JFS to finance. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by
Second.
Senator Austin, second by Representative Napoli. Comments, questions? Comments, questions? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing it on the consent calendar? Is there an objection? Hearing none, we'll place it on consent. Item number 7, Senate Bill 345, an act exempting veterans from payment of fares for bus and public transportation services. The bill does pretty much what the title says. This is a JF to the floor. So first, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Napoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Austin. Comments, questions, Representative Anderson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm a veteran. I agree with the intent of this bill to assist veterans in need. And I support measures like one that's on the agenda today, SB 337, that will let veterans keep more of their veterans in need keep more of their own money. My concern about this bill, the busways are already heavily subsidized, I believe at least 80%. This will put an unknown financial burden on the busways and an administrative burden and could be open to fraud like fake veteran ID. So I'm a very reluctant no on this. I ask for a roll call vote.
Absolutely, and thank you. Thank you for your comments. Other questions or comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
This is a roll call vote for SB 345, an act exempting veterans from payment of fares for bus public transportation services. Senator Cabrera,
Senator Cabrera votes yes.
Representative Boyd,
Representative Boyd, aye.
Senator Maroney, Senator Maroney, Representative Napoli,
Yes.
Senator Ciccarella, Senator Ciccarella,
Senator Ciccarella votes yes.
Representative Vale,
Representative Vale votes yes.
Senator Abrams, Senator Abrams, Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson votes no.
Representative Arconti, Representative Arconti, Senator Berto,
Berthel votes yes.
Representative Buckabee,
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative De La Cruz,
Representative Dela Cruz votes yes.
Representative DG Van Carlo,
Representative Di Giovancarlo votes yes.
Representative Ferraro,
Representative Ferraro votes yes.
Representative Linehan? Representative Linehan? Senator Miller?
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Austin?
Votes in the affirmative.
Senator Austin, can you repeat yourself?
Senator Austin votes in the affirmative.
Representative Turco? Representative Turco?
Representative Turco votes yes.
Thank you.
And I would like to keep the votes open till 2 o'clock for those that are in other meetings as well. All right, moving on to item number 8. Item number 8 is Senate Bill 337, an act concerning federal veterans benefits and income eligibility for determinations of certain public assistance programs. This would, in effect, DSS would not calculate pension income when working out assistance programs. It's a bill we've seen a number of times. Is there a motion? This is a JF to appropriations. Is there a motion? Moved by Representative Napoli. Second by Senator Austin. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing this on the consent calendar? Is there an objection? Hearing none, we'll place it on consent. Item 9, Senate Bill 338, an act concerning a study of municipal veteran services. This is a JFS to the floor with LCO number 3374. This would ask the DVA and the Commissioner of Veterans Affairs to conduct a study of veteran services and report back to this committee. The only change was that in the JFS language was the date. It would be back by January 1 and to be done within available appropriations. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion. Is there a second? Representative Napoli's made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Representative Vale. Any discussion or comments? Discussion or comments? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing this item on consent?
If I could just put a point of, I'm sorry, I'm on
Go ahead,
2
Senator.
meetings. I apologize. On this one, it is within available appropriations. I just want to make sure that people are aware that the commissioner on the meeting that I think all of us were on said that he would need staff for this. But we are understanding that that staff is currently not being provided. Would that be correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Thank you for
that. Any objection to placing this item on consent? Hearing none, we'll place it on consent. Item number 10, Senate Bill 347, an act crediting military training and experience towards certain licenses. This is a JF to the floor. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion
Second.
from Representative Napoli, a second from Senator Ciccarella. This is a bill we have seen and passed out before that takes that hard look. I'm sorry, this is the sewage disposal system bill. There's 2 bills that work that, and I want to make sure that we don't mix them up. This is a very narrow focus dealing with this licensure and the ability to give some equivalency there. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, is there any objection to placing this item on consent? Is there an objection? Hearing none, we'll place the item on consent. Number 11, Senate Bill 342. This is a JF to the floor, an act concerning federal reimbursements for certain pharmaceutical purchases. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Representative Napoli. Is there a second? Second by Senator Austin. This bill is one we have seen before that puts money back into the IGW rather than into the general fund. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? Hearing none, is there an objection to place this item on consent? Is there an objection? Hearing none, we'll place it on consent. Item number 12, Senate Bill 343, an act concerning military occupational specialty work training and a grant program for the reimbursement of certain licenses. This is a JF to the floor. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Senate Bill 343.
Moved by Representative Napoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Senator Austin. And this bill has basically 4 sections. It sets up a working group to examine findings of the Military Occupational Specialty Task Force. It requires DCP to work with other stakeholders to refine the tuition program, appropriates money to the general fund to establish a grant program, inquires DCP, DOL, and TECS to submit a report by January 24 to the committee with information on a number of applications and reimbursement and so on and so forth. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, is there an objection to placing this item on consent? Is there an objection? Okay, we'll place the item on consent. Item number 13, Senate Bill 344, an act concerning state contracting price preferences for veteran-owned businesses. This is a JF to the floor. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Senate Bill 344.
Motion by Representative Napoli. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Senator Austin. Questions or comments, Representative Anderson?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'm not going to ask for a roll call vote, but for the sake of taxpayers and for contractors, I would prefer that we had no preferences in our contracting. I know there's a tendency to game the system, but now if we pass this, maybe almost everyone has a preference and we end up with the same thing. But I move we put this on the consent calendar, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Anderson. Is there an objection to placing this item on consent? Hearing no objection, we place it on consent. So that finishing our bills, Madam Clerk, can you give us a quick summary of what is on the consent calendar and then call the roll?
House Bill number 5363 with LCO number 3396, an act concerning special registration marker plates for motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of armed forces. JFS to the floor. Second item.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Senator.
I believe I heard the clerk say 5363. Is it 5363 or 5367?
5367. Correct, Senator.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
House Bill number 5367, LCO number 3396, an act concerning special registration marker plates for motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of armed forces. JFS to the floor. House Bill number 5368, LCO number 3283, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the Governor's Guard. JFS to the floor. HJ number 92, resolution recognizing Chief Harold Tantakian.
It's a Quidgen.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
JF to the floor. Number 4, House Bill number 5370, an act increasing the compensation for participation in military funeral honor guard details. GF to appropriations. Number 5, House Bill number 5373, an act establishing concurrent jurisdiction with the United States over offenses committed by minors on federal military installation in this state. GF to the floor. Number 6, House Bill number 5371, LCO number 3285, an act establishing a personal income tax deduction for honor guard detail compensation. JFS to finance revenue and bonding. Number 8, SB number 337, an act concerning federal veterans benefit and income eligibility determination for certain public assistance programs. JF to appropriations. Number 9, SB 338, LCO number 3374, an act concerning a study of municipal veterans services. JFS to floor. Number 10, SB 347, an act crediting military training and experience towards certain licenses related to subsurface sewage disposal systems. JF to floor. SB 342, an act concerning federal reimbursement for certain pharmaceutical purchases. JF to floor. 12, SB 343, an act concerning a military occupational specialty working group and a grant program for the reimbursement of certain licensing, certification, registration, or tuition fees. JF to floor. 13, SB 344, an act concerning state contracting price preferences for veteran-owned businesses. JF to floor. Okay. Senator Cabrera. Senator Cabrera.
Senator Cabrera votes aye.
Representative Boyd.
Representative Boyd, aye.
Senator Maroney. Senator Maroney. Representative Napoli.
Representative Napoli votes yes.
Senator Ciccarella.
Senator Ciccarella votes yes.
Representative Vale.
Representative Vale votes no. Votes yes. I'll be all right. Representative Vale votes yes.
Thank you for that clarification. Senator Abrams. Senator Abrams. Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative Arconti. Representative Arconti. Senator Bertel.
Berthel is a yes.
Representative Buckabee.
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Dela Cruz. Representative Dela Cruz. Representative DG Van Carlo.
Representative Di Giancarlo votes yes.
Representative Ferraro. Representative Ferraro.
Representative Ferraro votes yes.
Representative Linehan. Representative Linehan. Senator Miller. Senator Miller.
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Austin. Senator Austin. Representative Turco.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get off mute. I apologize. I vote in the affirmative.
Thank you. Representative Turco.
Representative Turco votes yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. And I thank everybody for their work on behalf of veterans and our active duty service men and women. This session, this is our last meeting unless a bill is referred to us from another committee. So I thank you all for your work in this short session. With that, I'd like to recess the meeting until 2 o'clock, and then the meeting will be adjourned at 2 o'clock. So we are officially in recess. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Actually, Renee and Mr. Chair, would you guys be willing to stick on quickly?
Yeah, Senator Bertel, are you still on? Oh.
Okay. We'll have to contact him. We are still live stream, by the way, just so everybody's aware.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Sorry, attorney, I was on the phone. Are we all set or do you?
Michael, you needed something?
Yeah, I didn't know if others, I can talk to you offline.
All right, perfect. Sounds good.
It was the question that I texted you.
Okay, very good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yep, bye.
I feel pretty comfortable in supporting the bill today. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Senator. Let's see any further comments in the room. Let me look online here.
Hi, Senator Maroney. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I
Okay.
want to thank Senator Kissel for his
Whenever
comments.
you're ready.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm ready.
today. I do think too often we try to mandate.
I may have to
generosity
jump off in a
on
second though, because I'm on another committee at the
And I
same
also
time,
think
and we
one of
may
the
be
things
voting
we've
there.
done is we've
Oh, so
created
you have until 2 p.m. You have
very
until 2 p.m. to vote.
in an
So
attempt
do
Yeah,
you
that
want,
meeting will go past 2 p.m.
wrong
So,
okay.
with bad intent.
Okay, so let's get this done now.
You're
okay.
not doing this because they're
So
selfish.
I'm gonna start reading from number 1, okay?
Very
Okay.
often, I think lawyers, be it supermarkets or any other kind of business, generally do want to do the right thing. So I think attributing
So
that
House Bill
or
5367, LCO number 3396,
assuming that we can
an
mandate
act
it.
concerning special
But one of the parts I
registration,
do like about
marker
this bill,
plates for
that
motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of armed
the
forces.
liability removal.
Yes.
If you are donating food, you know, in good faith that it's going to be used.
So before I continue,
families and
the
attempt
items that I'm gonna read first are the items that are on the
are
consent calendar, okay?
fear that
Okay.
you're going to get
Okay,
slapped
so
with
the
the law.
number 1 was on the
You're
consent
not gonna do it.
calendar.
So I do think
Okay.
that's an important part of this bill. I do have one question.
Number 2,
When
House Bill 5368, LCO number 3283, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the Governor's Guard. JFS to floor. Is that a yes or yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if that was on consent. Yes.
So all the items that I'm reading now are on the consent calendar, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You know, I'm just gonna start from the beginning because I
Yeah,
think
do you
you're
want to read the whole consent calendar and then I'll
yes,
give you my
I'm gonna
vote?
read yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Representative Linehan. So Representative Linehan, I don't know if you caught what I was saying to Senator Maroney, but I can't.
Sorry, I heard that there was a consent calendar.
Yes.
Did all items go on consent?
No, number 7 did not go on a consent calendar.
Oh, let me look at what that is. Thank you. This might take me a second. I hope you don't mind. Do you need to do something for Senator Maroney? I don't want to hold him up.
So I was just going to read all the items on the
Oh.
consent calendar for you both to vote on.
Okay.
And then I was going to read number 7, which was a roll call vote afterwards, okay?
Thank you.
If you were looking for the meeting agenda, it should be in your email also.
I got it.
Are we all set?
Yes.
Senator Maroney, are we all set?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to read the items from the consent calendar first. Number 1, HB 5367, LCO number 3396, an act concerning special registration marker plates for motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of the armed forces. JFS to floor. Number 2, House Bill 5368, LCO number 3283, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the Governor's Guard. JFS to floor. Number 3, HJ number 92, resolution recognizing Chief Harold Tankian. JF to floor. House Bill 5370, an act increasing the compensation for participation in military funeral honor guard details. JF to appropriations. House Bill 5373, an act establishing concurrent jurisdiction with the United States over offenses committed by minors on federal military installation in this state. JF to floor. Number 6, House Bill 5371, LCO number 3285, an act establishing a personal income tax deduction for honor guard detail compensation. JFS to finance revenue and bonding. 8, SB 337, an act concerning federal veterans benefits and income eligibility determination for certain public assistance programs. JF to appropriations. Number 9, SB 338, LCO number 3374, an act concerning a study of municipal veteran services. JFS to floor. Number 10, SB 347, an act crediting military training and experience towards certain licenses related to subsurface sewage disposal systems. JF to floor. 11, SB 342, an act concerning federal reimbursement for certain pharmaceutical purchases. JF to floor. 12, SB 343, an act concerning a military occupational specialty working group and a grant program for the reimbursement of certain licensing, certification, registration, or tuition fees. JF to floor. SB 344, an act concerning state contracting price preferences for veteran-owned businesses. JF to floor. Senator Maroney, how do you vote?
Senator Maroney votes yes.
I am going to read, oh, sorry. Representative Linehan, how do you vote?
Thank you. Representative Linehan votes yes, but since we're being recorded, I just want to mention one thing. I am voting yes on that last item that you read. However, there are some concerns that might violate some federal law, and I don't know if that was discussed. I think that it's brilliant and I absolutely support it, but we just need to flag that. So thank you very much.
Got it. I am going to read number 7, which was a roll call vote. Number 7, Senator Maroney. Okay. Number 7.
Senator Maroney votes yes.
I'm gonna read number 7 first, and then you all can vote. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Number 7, SB 345, an act exempting veterans from payment of the fares for bus public transportation services. JF to floor.
Senator Maroney votes yes.
Representative Linehan.
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Perfect. Thank you both.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Hi, Representative Arkansi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I am going to read all the items on the consent calendar first, and then I'm going to read the roll call vote item.
Okay.
So the roll call item was number 7. So if you hear me skip from 6 to 8, don't worry, okay? So the first, number 1, House Bill 5367, LCO number 3396, an act concerning special registration marker plates for motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of the armed forces. JFS to floor. Number 2, House Bill 5368, LCO number 3283, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the Governor's Guard. JFS to floor. Number 3, HJ number 92, resolution recognizing Chief Harold Santakian, JF to floor. Number 4, HB 5370, an act increasing the compensation for participation in military funeral honor guard details, JF to appropriations. 5, House Bill 5373, an act establishing concurrent jurisdiction with the United States over offenses committed by minors on federal military installation in this state, JF to floor. House Bill 5371, LCO number 3285, an act establishing a personal income tax deduction for honor guard detail compensation, JFS to finance revenue and bonding. 8, SB 337, an act concerning federal veterans benefit and income eligibility determinations for certain public assistance programs, JF to appropriations. 9, SB 338, LCO number 3374, an act concerning a study of municipal veteran services, JFS to floor. 10, SB 347, an act crediting military training and experience towards certain licenses related to subsurface sewage disposal systems, JF to floor. 11, SB 342, an act concerning federal reimbursements for certain pharmaceutical purchases, JF to floor. 12, SB 343, an act concerning a military occupational specialty working group and a grant program for the reimbursement of certain licenses, certification, registration, or tuition fees, JF to floor. 13, SB 344, an act concerning state contracting price preferences for veteran-owned businesses, JF to floor. Rep. Arcanti, how do you vote?
I vote yes. Rep. Arcanti votes yes.
Okay. Number 7, which was a roll call vote. SB 345, an act exempting veterans from payment of the fare for bus public transportation services, JF to floor. How do you vote, Rep. Arcanti?
Rep. Arcanti votes yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Representative Dela Cruz. Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. I forgot I had my earbuds in my pocket.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah, I got stuck in a meeting. Someone grabbed me out real quick, so. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to read the items on the consent calendar, and I'm gonna start from the top, okay?
Yeah, I'm a yes on the consent calendar. Is that what you're asking for?
No, I'm gonna read it over. I'm gonna read it.
I'll read it over. Okay.
Yeah, and then you're gonna let me know how you vote at the end, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Number 1, HB 5367, LCO number 3396, an act concerning special registration marker plates for motor vehicles of certain veterans and members of the armed forces, JFS to floor. Number 2, HB 5368, LCO number 3283, an act concerning the composition and organizational structure of the Governor's Guard, JFS to floor. Number 3, HJ number 92, resolution recognizing Chief Harold Tankian, JF to floor. Number 4, HB 5370, an act increasing the compensation for participation in military funeral honor guard, detailed, JF to appropriations. 5, HB 5373, an act establishing concurrent jurisdiction with the United States over offenses committed by minors on federal military installations in this state, JF to floor. 6, HB 5371, LCO number 3285, an act establishing a personal income tax deduction for honor guard detail compensation, JFS to finance revenue and bonding. 8, SB 337, an act concerning federal veterans benefits and income eligibility determinations for certain public assistance programs, JF to appropriations. 9, SB 338, LCO number 3374, an act concerning a study of municipal veteran services, JFS to floor. 10, SB 347, an act crediting military training and experience towards certain licenses related to subsurface sewage disposal systems, JF to floor. 11, SB 342, an act concerning federal reimbursements for certain pharmaceutical purchases, JF to floor. 12, SB 343, an act concerning military occupational specialty working group and a grant program for the reimbursement of certain licenses, certification, registration, or tuition fees, JF to floor. 13, SB 344, an act concerning contracting price preferences for veteran-owned businesses, JF to floor. Rep.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for coming back on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.